Got it. All right, everyone. Welcome to Meet Tina. Welcome everybody to my channel. Today I got Brent Boatman back again, because a lot of people like his talk the last time I interviewed him. And today we're going to be talking about quantum healing hypnosis. That's what he does for a living. He has studied with world-renowned hypnotherapist Dolores Canyon. I'm sure a lot of you have heard of her. She's already passed, but she left a legacy with her work and training so many talented spiritual souls like Brent, and a lot out there. But he has a lot of fascinating experiences through his clients, which he's going to share. But quickly, I just want to thank everyone for being here, listening, tuning into this channel. I want those who follow me, thank you. Don't forget to like and share my videos. And those who are new for the first time, please don't forget to subscribe. So anyway, Brent, welcome back. Thank you for being here again. Thank you very much. How are you doing?
I always enjoy. I'm doing great. Thank you. Yes, you're very welcome. I can support you any way I can, and I love our conversations. You are a great inquisitive person, and it brings back a lot of memories when I talk to somebody that they ask questions. It makes me recall their experiences and things that happened, and that's always refreshing.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
So you are Qhht practitioner. You've been trained by Dolores Canyon, and there's not a lot of people who are doing that. And of course, because of your life experience, you got a lot of fascinating stories to share. And I would love for you to share a couple that I know that it's going to be fascinating to listen to here. Can you do that?
Yes. I went to Dolores Cannon's quantum hypnosis school out of necessity. I want to start there because I had a motorcycle crash.
Oh.
And I was hit by at 90 miles an hour by a drunk driver when I was on my motorcycle. And as I'm sliding down the pavement, I had what they call a come to Jesus meeting. And I was like, okay, I got the message. I will do what I came to earth to do. I will do it now. I hear you. They go, are you sure? I go, yes, I hear you. I got the message. And I said, but did you have to yell so loud? Because the impact was great. And they said, it took what it took. And I go, okay. And believe it or not, I flew 75 feet. I rolled 75 feet. And when I stopped, I said, oh God, this is when you get killed because the car's going to hit me. And no, I didn't get killed. I stood
You're still
up on
alive.
the freeway.
I cannot believe it.
Yeah, I know the doctors, the paramedics, everybody on the freeway just said, this is a miracle. This guy's alive. So I could no longer do the normal trade I do, which is tile work, construction contractor is what I've been. And I've been watching Dolores Cannons for about 3 months. And my daughter came to visit me. I said, Becky, you got to hear this woman. She's a master. I can recognize a master because I've been with one. And I know when somebody is a master, they have this way of speaking that everybody can understand. And they have this tone and this flow about them. I said, she's got it, Becky. And so I played some for my daughter, and my daughter said, Dad, you can do this.
Yes.
You can do this. This is you. I said, I do have to do something else. So I went to school. It took about 2 years for me to get to my level 2 certification. And that's when things, what I like about it is when being with a master, we work with the quantum energy, which is, let's call it the intense vibration that the earth and the planet and everything lives and breathes on. It's the heartbeat of the universe, the quantum energy. And when I got into being a practitioner, that gave me even a better access to that energy, the quantum information highway. So when
I lost your voice.
When I would give them a session, someone, basically it was an opportunity to access the quantum information highway or the Akashic records. And the deeper someone goes into a symbiotic state of hypnosis, the more information that comes through. I had a session recently with a woman who was a 62-year-old Caucasian nurse. She was a nurse. She came all the way up from California to Washington State for help. And we met, and I transgressed her. And she became about a 30-year-old. When she went into the past life, she was about a 30-year-old Native American woman with 3 kids standing by the river. This is what she told me. She says, I'm by the river when she's under hypnosis. And she had such a clear vision of that past life. She talked about how thick the flies were and the heat, the temperature. She even spoke her Native American language to me.
Wow.
Yeah. Can you imagine that? She's like,
and she didn't speak that before.
No, she had no idea that she even had a past life. She didn't know. And I'm sorry. And so she would tell me the name of her children, like Skayakia and Sahu, and then I asked her to say some things in her language, and she started speaking her language to me. I tried to get her to sing because I wanted to hear some singing, and she says, "Oh, my voice does not carry." I go, "Oh, but when you move your lips, they don't know." So when it's time to sing, she would just like pretend she's singing, and then nobody would know she's not singing.
Wow.
I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
And one of the most impressive things was, you know, they still hunted with spears and poison tip darts. She talked about the poison on the dart and on the tips, and it was a slime green, and then they had a thing made out of hide, and they would put a rock in it and swing it around, and they'd use that for hunting. And then we were talking, and I asked her some questions about the elders. Where do they get their wisdom? And she said, from the sky people.
Wow.
And I go, really? Where do they come from? She goes, meaning, you know, what planet? She goes, the sky. They come from the sky. And I said, so they bring you wisdom? They go, yes. They bring us the elders' wisdom, and they tell them when to plant, and they will talk to them about things. They go, oh, so they have mouths? And she says, no, it's mainly through thought transfer.
Beautiful.
And so that tells me that she was pretty much from the beginning of civilization on Earth, her time period.
Wow.
Yeah, and that was a very, very fascinating experience to listen to it. And she had a remarkable healing. Once I took her through the process, she laid on the bed. She was shaking because the light went into her system, and it was repairing her body, and it was working on her for quite some time, an hour or more. And then she progressed, and she went into the future a little bit about the planet, about the government and who's who, and she talked about it in great depth.
Wow.
Yeah, that was a remarkable experience. The foreign language was really got me going when she was speaking Native American, because, you know, I'm kind of a linguist myself. I speak a couple of languages, and when you can hear the dialect, you can hear when they drop their vowels, and everything changes so perfect. And plus, I live in a Native American land up here. You know that, you know, when they're speaking Native American, you just know
Wow.
it. So it was pretty fun, that experience.
So what did she say about when they go into the future? What did they say about what's going to happen with the government? Did she kind of elaborate on that part?
Well, she talked about the Kazarium, and I really never heard of the Kazarium. I know what the Cabal is, but then she said, no, Kazarium bad. Kazarium very, very bad, very bad. I go, what the hell's that? She said, Kazarium started 1871, you know, and I go, well, wait a minute. That's when our government created their secret group. And I'm like, wow, okay. And she talked about President Trump, who he is, and how he was prepared, and no man has ever been prepared. He was prepared to help put this world back on track, and he has nobody who will ever endure as much as he has endured
Wow.
during his presidency and if you look about it, you got to have a divine source of energy going through you to take the punishment and the abuse that he has taken and still smile and be happy. That's pretty incredible. And she talked about that. She said he will be back. He will be back. He's not gone. And I go, okay, all right. I mean, I'm just listening. I'm not asking any leading questions or anything like that, because then it's not authentic. You have to ask, open-ended questions so they can answer under their own free will.
So did you get to find out how's our United States going to turn out to be, or even like economy, financial system? Did she go into detail about that? This is something a lot of people want to know too, especially in this day and age of what's going on right now.
She called it like it is. It's up to us. It's up to us. We have to make our choice.
Right.
And that's where it's at. And I tell it to everybody, if you want to make it, you got to cancel out all the negative thoughts and you got to have positive ones. And, that's how you're going to win. You can't, every word is alive. It's alive, right? And if you support the negative words and the negative lifestyle, you just put more energy over into the negative batch.
Added on top of collective.
Right. And then when people want to draw from it, they can go to the big barrel and take it out and use it. And that word, that's like a fad, how we have words that kind of are the hip words, like hip is a word, or the word is hip. The more people use it, the more the collective draws on it, and the more it gets around. Well, you take the word, what it is, and you put the feeling and the vibration behind it, and it goes across the planet.
True.
And so there's a big cleansing that if we just pump the brakes and cleanse those words out and the feelings behind them, that would choke off the darker forces that are feeding off the chaos and the problems.
True. Everything's all about energy. So let's get back to that elder lady who you hypnotized again, because quantum healing hypnosis that you do, not only for many individuals to be able to connect and channel direct to the source, they also get this spontaneous healing, correct? And you mentioned that she's going through. What's going on with her right now, Brent?
During the session?
Is she completely healed? Has it changed? Because this is something new to her, I would assume.
Yeah. There's responsibility that they have to have after they have a session. They have to listen to the recording, and then that is their follow-up, and it's like topical gel on an injury. If they listen to it, the healing will continue. If they don't, it doesn't continue.
So let me ask you, has she ever had this kind of experience before, connecting to?
No. She was a nurse, and I would have never thought somebody like that would be open for a session. But I had another client once, right? And she wanted it. And she told me that in the pre-conversations that she was having sex with a guy that she knew it wasn't right and she needed to stop it. And I said, you know what? Because you brought that up and you're talking about it, the quantum energy knows, and chances are they're already going to work on that for you. She goes, you think so? I go, yeah, I know so.
Right.
And that was a big one that she was really afraid of tackling. Okay. So we set the appointment. She comes over a week probably more like 2 weeks, she came over and we did her session. That's another fantastic experience. And we're going through her body. You know, I put her in the symbiotic state. She's visiting her grandparents. They're sitting there just face to face with each other. The grandmother appeared to be about 30 years old or so when she was with the grandmother, and she looked young and beautiful, and they held hands and they didn't talk to each other. They just, everything was transferred by feelings, and it was a great experience for her, and she had a good time. And we healed. She had bad legs. Her legs were really bad, and they said because she had blackness in her heart is why she had bad legs. The heart couldn't pump the right amount of blood to the legs because her heart was black.
Wow.
So they cleared out her heart for her and removed the darkness so her legs could heal. And they also told me that she has something wrong with her eyes. Now, she never told me she had something wrong with her eyes, but they told me she has something wrong with her eyes. And I said, well, what's wrong with her eyes? They said it's the strands that go back to the head from the eyes are weak. And I go, okay, can you work on them? We're working on them. The whole time you're speaking to the person when they're under hypnotism, the subconscious and the invisible world of the quantum energy is actually working on the person. And they'll even say, there's a light in my body. Or, did you turn a light on? No. And there's a light in their body, and they kind of start vibrating. And they go, I'm vibrating. Well, that's the light working on them and healing them. It could be. I've had one woman with the worst bronchitis, and she was on nebulizer and steroids for 10 years, and they pushed all the air out of her lungs, and he completely healed her.
Wow. Wow.
And so this, back to this girl that had the relationship. She called me up about 4 days after her session, and she said, Brent, remember the guy I was having sex with? I go, oh, I'm so sorry. It wasn't on your list, because they make a list and they bring it to me, all the things they want to address.
Yeah.
I totally forgot about that. She said, don't worry. I just got a text from him, and it said, what we are doing is not right, and we need to stop. I wish you all the best in the world.
Wow. Wow. Instant.
Yeah. And I said, well, see, I said, kind of had a feeling that they were going to take care of it for you.
Wow. This is amazing.
I
know,
and really, we're blessed to be in this field.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, a lot of people still don't know, are not aware of this kind of hypnotherapy that, you're offering as well. So what would you tell the audience, the listener, about this session? Who would need it? Who should do it? What about the non-believer? Would that work on them from your experience?
Well, you got to want it. Okay. You absolutely got to want to be healed or fixed. You got to want it, because what you get out of a session, it's up to you. You, me, whoever does it, we're just merely guides. We're just merely guides. We're just merely guides. That's all we are.
Right.
And we just kind of help the person through the process, but it's their own faith and their own subconscious is who wants to be healed. So that would be my first suggestion, is for one to take a moral inventory of how much they really want this to be fixed.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. And if they really want to be healed, then they can reach out and find a practitioner in their area, or you can do it via Zoom, providing Zoom works. And you can do it that way as well.
Yeah. I find that oftentimes most people do not believe in this kind of work, hypnotherapy. you know, but there's been many cases that have a spontaneous healing afterward. Either be emotional, spiritual, or mental shift.
Yeah.
Do you find
No,
that in your
true.
clients?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I have heard back from many a clients and they'd say, you know, I think a lot more has changed in my life than I saw at the moment or that day, because as I look at their lives as it plays out, they've all made a change. They've all made a change for the better, and they have a tendency to walk more into more of a poetry, embracing lifestyle, and into the flow of the quantum energy of the universe. You know,
So that
that's
pickle his dog saying hi to you guys. she
she,
she wants a
yeah,
hypnosis, right?
yeah, pickles. Yeah, I put her outside and
Yeah.
she's just protecting. Yeah, I live a ways away from here, and I'm in town, and I wanted to obviously really have my time with you. So here I am
Yeah, there you
with
go.
pickles. Yeah, I take her to the beach, take her to the ocean swimming. Any rate, the, what I find the most exhilarating for me is I will be doing a session on somebody, and then all of a sudden they're kind of confused and they say, "Wait, somebody wants to talk to you," and I'm like, "Oh." They'll go, "It's a Dolores."
Oh
I go,
wow.
"Oh, okay. Dolores is here. She wants to talk to you." I go, "All right, I'll talk to her." And the person's voice will change and become Dolores Cannon's voice. They don't even know the woman, never met her, never talked to her, don't even know who she is. And all of a sudden, she's got this sweet little Arkansas accent.
Awesome.
Yeah, and she'll start talking to me. And I will ask Dolores questions, you know, because there comes a point where sometimes you get to ask some personal questions about yourself and about what you're doing. And I've asked questions about UFO encounters that I've had. I said, and I had this big encounter here. First day of lockdown, COVID. I'm sleeping in the bed, and have this conversation with this being. And they said, "Now, when you return, we want you to get up and go look over the ocean as proof that you were just aboard this beautiful ship." I said, "Okay, I'll do that." And bang, I opened up my eyes, got right out of the bed, and I walked to the balcony, and I sent you those photos of the red ship up in the sky.
Yeah, I saw
And
that,
then
guys.
then the big purple one phased in behind it. And when Dolores Cannon came through a session, I said, "Are you familiar with that experience that I had with that UFO over the ocean?" You know what happened? She said, "That was me you were talking to on the ship."
That's pretty cool.
Wow.
Now it
And
just
you,
got me curious now, like all her students who does her work or who have connected with her, if we all have this connection with her in the star system. Have you thought about that?
oh yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah.
We're those that I feel that Dolores Cannon will come to and come through on a session is meant to be there because they understand it and they don't second guess it, and they're all about it. It's meant, it's just not one time that this has happened with her. It's happened other times as well. She's come through and said, I have a message for you. Okay. And she'll answer questions, and sometimes she'll even say, "Why do you ask? You know the answer."
It's a
Okay.
human mind,
That's right.
in you.
Very well put. Yeah, very well
Yeah,
put.
our
And
mind tend to
it's a
interfere.
blessing. It's a blessing to be connected to such a wonderful being. such
Now
as
let
she
me
is.
let me ask you too. This is for the audience who may be interested in this session with you. Do you get like all your clients who come to you, do they get to connect, channel upstairs?
It falls back on them. It depends on how willing they are.
Hmm.
You
And those
know,
who never channel before, they just happen.
yeah, it's up to them on how well they want it, and they don't think it's a joke or whatever. What they don't, a lot of people don't understand that when their imagination starts to blossom during the session, that is starting to form that dimension.
Yeah.
I mean, I had this one gentleman, he was 80, and he was very explicit about his things he sees and he's doing, and he saw his ex-wife and he was talking to her and everything. And when it was all over with, they're expecting a big aha pop moment, but it doesn't go that way. It's very subtle. And he said, well, that was just me talking. That was all about from my imagination. I go, aha, boom, that's the way it works. But he could not accept that.
It's hard for people to separate because everything is imagination. But it does take the imagination to get there between the realms and between the worlds. But I think what the confirmation we get and our synchronicity that we get is what's confirmed that we have communicated or connected to those realms, right? That's from my experience. So the people who come to you, I know there's two sides of it. Either they want healing or they wanted to connect to their higher minds or channel. Mm-hmm. Do you have which group do you have more coming to you?
Well, they kind of might come for physical somewhat. There's a lesser amount, but they always end up connecting to their higher selves, because I think it's the space that I hold that offers it, and I will take them there. Or I had a 70-year-old man. I took him home to his star family. Wow. And he just laid there crying. I'm home. I'm home. Wow. I said, do you recognize him? No, but I know I'm home. I'm home. And it was so endearing. And I just left him there, embracing his star family.
That must really open your heart when you experience that with your clients, for them to feel that connection.
Just to be in the room when the quantum energy enters is a blessing. You're a part of it. It's just a blessing.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And you get to feel it, you get to experience it, and you're doing good work. You are actually cleansing their past lives. Yes. And cleansing their karma and clearing it out so they can leave advanced. Is really what takes place.
And evolved. It's like this quantum healing is like the things that you do, it's actually speed up the process of evolution for each soul who come in. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Because it's like a process of waking them up, and allow them to connect more with the universe or with their star system, especially their star seeds. And also have if it's meant to be, their physical will heal spontaneously as well, from what I have. Wow. Beautiful work, Brent. I love that. And, I know you're doing this work, and a lot of people are looking for quantum healing, Qhht by Dolores system. A lot of people, and you are in Las Vegas, correct?
No, right now I'm in Washington State, up in Canada. But I can do it via the computer too, believe it or not. It takes a little bit of preparation. You got to have somebody in the next room or close by with a cell phone, and I got to have their phone number. Nothing can happen. I mean, if you fall asleep, you fall asleep. You're gonna wake up. There's no danger. That's what's a misnomer that people feel. I'm not gonna get hypnotized. You never know what's gonna happen. What do you do when you have a nightmare? You sit straight up. Your subconscious protects you. Exactly. Even if I've heard of cases of men or women or whatever try to do hanky panky with the client, the client wakes up. The subconscious will alert them, danger,
Right.
danger, danger. So you're very well protected.
Exactly. Yeah, so it's kind of cool that you're sharing all this experience, of your clients with the listener here, because I have interviewed this guy who's actually kind of on fire right now on a net, Ishmael, and he gets started with his journey because of her books. Dolores Canyon book, he shared that because of her books, it woke him up, it's awakened. I mean, already he has a gift of channeling when he was young, but he suppressed it. But when he read her books, he just felt so resonated with, and also that's kind of open up his gift that he already has. All of us, we all have that. It's just that all of us suppress, and we have been programmed so deeply, so we never get to believe in ourselves. And then when I found out that you're doing this work too, I'm like, oh my God, the whole world, because this is no incident. That it's just all of us are just kind of connecting right at this moment. Even those who come to these channels or different channels that have the same similar energy, we all are interconnected, perhaps in the same star system or the same whatever quantum energy in the universe. We'll find out, and I'm glad that you're sharing with all this. So guys, if you wanted to try this session now and looking for quantum healing hypnotherapy that's trained by Dolores Canyon, she's pretty well known, you can look up and get her books too. I'm going to put description here, and also I'm going to put description, and the Brent also wrote a book that you probably would love to read, about yes, I've got one too. So, I'm going to put the link there, guys. Support him, buy the book, read up about it, and you feel connected with him, go to him, experience this quantum healing hypnosis. You want a channel, you want to get information, go there, because I experienced that myself too, and my life have changed. What he has shared earlier about spontaneous healing and the life changes is the fact, because, I practice myself, and I've got clients like 6 to 12 months will email me the same thing. That's why you're confirmed of this work, that it's just a miracle to either do this work or experience this kind of session, and just to connect with brother and sister who do this work, helping the world, helping every soul to wake up, to remember where they come from, and to heal themselves. It's such a beautiful journey. So Brent, last word about this session. Do you wanted to give it to the audience, how they should prepare, or who need it, and what they get out of it? What would you like to share, the last word?
I give you, and I bless you. I want to bless you with all the courage that you can have, and from within yourself, to face that demon or face that problem that you need to face, because you don't need that to hold you down, and to get rid of it, it's much easier than you think, and it's much more painless than you think it will be. And it will, the flip side of it, it will launch you into another dimension of freedom. Lose all your baggage, lose all your weight, lose all your fears, and step out there and do it. Do what you need, and become free. I just really encourage you to be free. I've been going through a big, long cleansing process for quite a while, freeing up my life, and it feels so good. Even though my friends have the big houses and this, that, and the other, but they're locked down. Free yourself up.
Right, just like a bird.
Mentally, physically, and spiritually.
Yeah, I agree with that. Just like a bird, allow yourself to be free and fly.
Yep.
And then just you find that peace within you.
That's
so
right.
Brent, thank you so much.
Thank
I know
you.
we had a difficult time locking in earlier, but I'm so glad that we did this session to share this, beautiful and spiritual work that Brent offer. Next session, he's going to come back again and share the story, fascinating, miraculous story about his master that he talked in the first video. So we're going to do that next time, guys. Have him share how amazing it is. And until next video, guys, don't forget to subscribe, click like, and share this video. Brent, sweet.
Thank you. Thank you so
Virtual
much.
hugs and love to everyone, guys. Thank you. Take
Yeah.
care.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys. Peace.